in that recovery stroke rehabilitation period, when you come out of hospital and you maybe feel what's next, the nurses aren't buzzing around the way they were and you feel relatively on your own, what kind of role does friends and family, partner, extended network, what's the role to the social element to get you going again?
Most of my family actually live overseas, so I relied on other means. I relied on email, and I relied on phone calls to keep in touch with my family. Apart from my mother and my partner, they were, right there with me, and I needed to know that my friends and my family needed me. I didn't want them to treat me with kid gloves. I wanted them to recognise that what I had been through. It was important to me that I had social contact because I'd gone from going to work every day to being stuck in an isolation room in a hospital, and then I was stuck on the sofa at home. So there were really big, it was a big difference to my social life. So I needed people to keep in touch with me, and it was important for me that people made the effort. But I also needed them to understand that sometimes I didn't want to see anybody. And that sometimes I only wanted to see somebody for 30 minutes. And I think that was, I had to learn that for myself. And then I had to learn that it was okay to tell my friends that and to say to them, we're only sitting here for 30 minutes because then I need to go home.
So you're able to give them pretty direct feedback, which actually they probably appreciate because they often don't know what they should say or how much they should be involved. And you were explaining to me earlier about giving feedback about communication style as well. What did you say to people?
Well, when I was diagnosed and I knew what my treatment plan looked like, I decided I needed to let people know. My immediate family knew what was happening, but I needed to let my work colleagues know. I needed to let friends know. I needed to let family who were further removed, both physically from me. I needed to let lots of people know what was happening. So what I did was I sent an email to people and I said, this is what has happened, this is how I've got to this point, this is what's going to happen from here on, this is how I need you to support me. So I asked them I told them how I wanted them to support me, but I also told them, don't forget about other people around me. I want my partner to be supported, I want my mother to be supported, I want my brother and my sister to be supported. So it wasn't all about me, it was about making sure that the other important people who were close to me and who cared about me, that they got acknowledgement and that they got support as well. But the other thing that I said in the email is that I said to people, this is the disease I have, this is the type of disease I have. I'm working with my medical team and I'm not going to go on the internet and discover anything at all about this disease and the treatment. If you want to do that, then that's fine. You can go and do it and you can talk to each other about it, but I don't want any of you to come and tell me about what you found, because I'm doing my own thing with my medical team and I don't want to know about anything that you find out.
What was the response of family and friends to your instructions?
They said it was very typical of me.
Yeah.
No, but people responded well. They
wanted that instruction, of feedback, if you like.
I think a lot of people said, "Oh, it's great to hear that you seem to be in a good place. You seem to be managing this in the way that I would expect you to manage it." And they appreciated that I directed them. I was telling them how I wanted them to talk to me. I was telling them how I wanted them to support other people around me, and telling them what I didn't want to hear as well. I didn't want them, and what actually happened is, a couple of friends who shared their own cancer stories or knowledge of cancer with me, I told them as soon as they would start telling me the story, and I would say, well, that's very interesting, but I actually don't want to hear that because I've got my own cancer story going on. And so as a result of that, some friendships actually fell by the wayside because I realised that some people were better able to offer the support that I needed. And some people, when I was going through treatment and in early remission, there were some people who couldn't deal with it and withdrew completely. And I felt quite hurt at the time. But it's fine. That was how they dealt with it. And they have now become, they've come back into my life, and we're now, we're now friends, and we do things again in the way that we used to. But I recognised for that period they weren't able to cope with what was happening to me. And there are other friends who offered support or tried to offer support, and I actually realised that wasn't right. So there are other friends who've left me as friends, and then but that will make space for new people to come in.
I mean, I guess in life, friends don't always stay there forever anyway.
No.
And another way to think about this is your illness is actually a stress on definitely those immediately around you, but the wider network has some degree of stress in helping you. They don't have to step up and help you. It's an option. You gave them instructions, and whilst most did, some won't. And although that's very hurtful, it seems like they're letting you down at the time. Sometimes those people do come back into your life later. They weren't in a good place in their life to support you at that time. But later, your friendship might restart again. And if you keep the door open, then that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, if I had the same friends that I had when I was in primary school, yeah, I mean...
Things change.
I don't want to think about that.
Things change.
Yeah.